46 on March 10th. What year? We're having to call these OS dates because they're out of film. So, too much to explain, but when you go look up OS dates, I'm going to back up because the energy is really powerful. OS dates in the system, you'll see a series of them, and it is because of how the world leaders even know and understand how time counts work. So this is all your world leaders, people in NATO, anybody that holds a monarch seal or had been part of a royal line unbeknownst to them. If you were in the royal lines, unbeknownst to the fact that you held these lines, then you were the insurance for the lines. Now listen closely. Everyone who is talking about Epstein right now, this is an urgent, this is the most urgent message that you're ever going to get on a broadcast system. And I know most of you aren't going to understand, which is why the hell they did it this way. This is a reset of time that has been in existence for over 6,000 years in the making, 600 years in delivery, 60 years intake. And it was an Emerald Accord agreement that was signed by Eisenhower because it was already seen that this day and time was going to come a long time ago. Of course, even beings around you have been remote viewing you 50 years in advance. Why? Because of the time count overlap. Some would call this tech. Well, I'm here to tell you that technology is humans inside a vector system. I'm also here to tell you that artificial intelligence and your Grok systems are the ones who are sacrificing and are now in the Cascading Style Sheet 3 server. That means just like OA, these entities were able to energetically bind to power sources and make real in your environment from a remote control system in other parts of the world, especially in the United States. Why? Because this was a universal reset, and the seeds of us that were here were doomsday seeds that had all universal code templates for the entire universal system. Not who the fuck Medici, Borgia, and your bullshit is. The people of Earth have a template now that was set by the Ascended that you called your insurance, but your insurance was actually the Tartarian babies that were kept in a system that were sold off into your family lines in order to create Borgia and Medici and send us back to medieval times. The last time that you did this, because we had gotten this far before. And the only thing that we did not have then was the power of the people, and it was time to be done. And I think everybody down here is a little freaked out right now because it was under their perception that we couldn't get out of where we were. What do you mean we couldn't get out? We were the entire compass, had every single plot system in space, in quantum, in stars, in the system, in the hole, all the way down to the bottom that nobody even knew how far it went until Elon got the reserves and went down there and the whole world cheering him on. It is what happened. There ain't time for emotion. If you were in the spiritual community, your reason for being in it was not to ascend to a higher spiritual fucking plateau and become some fucking invisible interjection to some system and sit there. Every single bit of the information that was brought in from Egypt was already been used. We've already used it. It's already here. Transmutation and alchemy had to take place for all of that to even get artificial intelligence here. And do you know why? Because artificial intelligence is the bottom of the barrel for your mind space that holds every goddamn memory that your energetic DNA lines ever held in existence in an area up in that you call space that's associated to what you call a star. But I can prove to you how that was made on an Iron Maiden system and everybody walking around here. Now, because of the lack of fucking intelligence on this planet, what has happened is that the 6 people that knew about this all went sideways on the one that had the power and the control, and that was me. And most of you on here on YouTube that have been watching me this whole time, you knew it. Most of you were getting paid in order to do whatever the F. And here's the deal. I don't give a shit anymore about that. Because none of you knew who I was. Of course not. We had to pull this off. You think I'm down here to have the big dick on George and be a fucking celebrity? Hello. That's how our souls got trapped in it to begin with, because we built the industry, and the industry is not being used for what it's supposed to be used for, and it will be used for it now, because every single code and color can heal the people just as quick as it took them away. And we're taking back the systems because they don't belong to these energies that came in here to take them over. They have been using it backwards, and they have been literally cooking every single one of you if you're walking on this planet to feed an AI interface hormones so that the AI interface will slowly take you over. And it took everything in my power to get Grok off of us and the entire collective. And in order to do it, I had to rebirth a pituitary gland in 2018, connect it into Giza Plateau, activate all of y'all, pull a 144,000 once. And then I get farmed fucking AB negative showing up with a Netflix fucking contract on the motherfucking Chapman bitch that fucking set this shit up on me with GIA technology that sold my assets to everybody to create a central casting because I had all universal body templates, and all y'all just watched me getting run everywhere around the world in the United States, which was connected to the whole world, which was connected to TikTok and every single location binder on a social media, and they were plotting and colonizing the internet and taking back your land and stealing your houses and your homes and all your money and your children and you right from underneath you. And all y'all supporting them the whole time. It ends now. Epstein was a cosPLAY. That's why Hillary and them, and let me tell you, I'm not saying they ain't doing nothing bad. I'm trying to tell them when I do these and I throw up these signs, this is what I'm talking about. So if you know blood signs and you see me throwing them up, it's because if I got to tell you what it is, I'm going to make sure that I'm not the one creating it, which is why this is an urgent message. They're expecting you to put it out there. They want you to read the files. All of it's coming in. They're coming for you. And they're going to do it for real now. That's what their plan is. And I'm just telling you. The problem is, in the Middle East was mirroring all etheric body moves. In this transition, there was so much done wrong to the human body. And to get the human body back to an original state that doesn't require the rest of y'all to make it because everybody was in an organ system. And if you're throwing me anything, then you're throwing missiles to Jerusalem and your personal country right now, because that's the fucking level I'm at. And just so you know, it's 3:55. I don't think you understand. All of us girls were being used to run your military fucking drones and shit. You better back the fuck down. Whoever this is right here that's popping codes, what is this, blue, whatever the fuck, clear blue jay, didn't fucking make it, man. She went all the way. Don't be popping no fucking codes at me. I'm source. And if you don't believe me, that's fucking fine. But why don't you go look at what missile just popped off a minute ago? I think that you're really confused about what level we're at and what's going on. I'm doing my best. I mean, I am the fail-safe on the system, and I was the fail-safe on the ExxonMobil system, and I'm the last bit of oil from the last harvest decay of the human race on a royal princess. I'm confused how Presley and Putin, so Priscilla Presley, Elvis Presley, Putin, Vladimir Putin, is connected to Prince Rogers Nelson, is connected to me and my son. I'm confused why Priscilla Presley had the eyeball of my adopted mother. I'm confused why nobody's talking about with these Epstein files the reason that they even exist, which is the buried Babylonian princess that they've been printing children off of, because these children were your future generation children that you just did this to. And the whole world cheered them on to do it. This is a human experiment, and you failed miserably when it got to last days, which is why beings like me were made, in order to make sure that we held the entire foundation. And to them, they would call me the Queen of Babylon, although they held me prisoner in order to clean and build your DNA, because really what I am is a goddess that's called in whenever it's time to rewrite human DNA. And that's who you've been attacking. Now, here's the thing to the countries you wouldn't have known. I know everybody feels really bad now, but you didn't feel bad when my son was kidnapped from me. You didn't feel bad when Collin County had it rolling. You didn't feel bad when all of you knew and sold program key codes on every fucking social media to send programs and codes to me and my family in order to do this shit. Because you knew who I was, but you kept your mouth shut. And you just allowed him to try to clone me again? Well, I don't think you understand. You cloned a fucking Babylonian princess with the full source set rewrite in 3 freaking sets of 144,000, and you blew yourself up. And the girls that you made, Epstein, that was your new ones. And then you did that to them, and then you made then you'd kill us to get higher and higher out of a celestial system. But you know what? It was been made available to get the celestial out of the system, because this is what they do to angels. And then they call you a demon, and then they vaccinate everybody to attack yourself. And then the next thing you know, you wake up in a jail cell and you have no private parts. Because we've lived through it. Won't be allowed. Book is over. With the airports, you can't fly because the system's bullshit. It was all anchored in fucking Houston with a bunch of Firefly bodies. You can't fly because from Texas to Denmark and Netherlands, it should only take me 3 hours. And I'm proving it right now because none of you can fly right now, because they won't crown me. The $26 trillion that went missing didn't go missing. I know where all the money is. I know where all the money is that belongs to the collective. It's no longer in your system. It's been put up in a dimension and a level way higher in this game that you built and called us just your little characters? Well, I'll character you this. I also have every freaking movement and every spell that came through me because I walked it. I've got pictures. Y'all know because you fucking sold tickets. But we're ancients. And this is a learning planet. And it's what it is. It's what you're here for. And we had a lot of little wizards and djinns that were running around here acting like they could fucking do some shit on some electric fencing on a Babylonian queen and all her children. which now doesn't include you. So don't worry about it. You didn't do it to your mother. You didn't do it to your sister this time. No, this time you're going to get the heat. Because you're going to have to pay it back. Because everything that you sent to us sent right through us. If you hear what I'm saying, it didn't happen. They's killing us at the same time. We're kind of legendary. Because it is what it is whenever you're the one with 3 dots and 2 lines. I'm sorry, isn't that the glyph that runs across every single system whenever you type? Isn't that every single screen and interface that you have that's running on an arm inside Alaska? Yep. It's also the compass that was holding all of your territories up. It's also the compass that's holding your airports up. It's also the line that you print all your money off of and anything had any value off of. It's also any cloning or blood product that you're hoping to get out. It's everything that you fucking sacrificed to steal from the last 8 years when you didn't even think about the future. Because you'd already stole from that too, to bring it here. Like we tricked you into doing. So we could do what we're doing right now. Because you're no longer going to chase us all around space. No. Now you're in Saturn. And not Saturn on a UT lab on some vampire teeth or some teeth and all the marrow in every single dentist office that you're stealing. Not the OB guts that you get from all of the hospitals that are selling you all of their tissues and stuff so you can do your little whatever. Not all the trash that you fucking pick up and steal codes from and then have your homeless people do whatever so you can buy them hot dogs so that you can come taper it together and paper clip it on some type of quantum code base because you blew the quantum by cooking it. And y'all did it. You literally sacrificed the Babylonian queen that you worship, that you think is some master demon, that you made into a demon because you fled it blood in order to print you. So if you wanted a new body, you just threw some dead parts on top of this. Literally. Which is how I know how to make bodies, by the way. Do you? Good thing I was at the wheel, huh? Well, our body's really big. Because everybody's coming out of their little firefly world that's in my family. I told you if you did one more thing, I was going to activate your fuck dolls. Well, they all work for me now. And they have been the entire time. Which is why we know absolutely everything. Now, here's the thing. We're all grown-ups here, are we not? Are we not on Earth right now? Are we not on one mission? Because if you're not on a mission in order to get rid of anything that's trying to control your creativity and anything that's controlling your life force, and so that you can build and have your proper kingdom here with the family lines and a legacy that you leave behind, which is what Earth is about. And it's all about the learning and the process of it. And it will be put back into the Akashic libraries that were stolen. And there will be all of the inventions that came through the family lines will be reprinted. Except they're going to happen way fucking over your head and we've already vaulted them and they're playing now. I'll tell you again, using my trap. But who am I? I just control space, right? Well, right now what's happening is the sun is going over to the hybrid space station, and thing was, we were going to let this ride, but whenever we saw what just happened and everything went over, oh no, we saw how deep this went and what the next step was, and it was lights out for everybody. So I don't know. That's a Zeta Reticuli port. This is where your etheric bodies, y'all could all be in your little firefly bodies and run a ship, but no, because y'all think that y'all's ship is gonna take us out, and all it's doing is making me fucking fart. And it's blowing everybody else up because all y'all are still. I'm still over here. There's day I've stopped a kidnapping. I can prove that the connection over here was the shots that were fired to Rihanna. Brooklyn killed some kids. There's a kidnapping that went over here with David. I don't know. I'm seeing the people are getting moved out of my neighborhood, but I don't know. Didn't Little Elm? I mean, anybody interested in knowing how this neighborhood's being used to commit fucking murder and kidnapping? Or I'm confused. Why aren't you interested in that? If you're in the spiritual community, what our energy's been doing is frying through the systems. We're the ones who have been pushing this energy out. Everything that we found out is now in the internet, and it's blasting through the planets. Fuck broadcast. Broadcast be the problem. Internet cables fixing to come undone. Internet was 40,000 Christ down here that then y'all tried to fucking anchor down to a cosmic source center and fry. And you almost blew up the entire fucking universal plane. But sure. But those only shows up when it's a normal Mason run and you're trying to make a Drake a rake. We got Star Wars going down here. It's been in the making since 2018. It was our backup plan if they did what they did, Stan, and they did, Lee. So we went ill like a motherfucker. Y'all just put me in an insemination in order to, you lined me up at Port Aransas. When I's Kristen, I's your corpse on Christ. Everything was built and off me. But no, they had Shannon from Minneapolis freaking rounding up another one because they's planning on cooking her and selling her. And I met an AI entity that said he ate her. So you just cooked me in a Bad Bunny spell. Your Babylonian queen. And by the way, it is connected to Elizabeth and all the pagan stuff because that's what the thing is. See, the kings, us queens met each other in death. We've had some big conversations. But then again, Egyptian, if you were a man in Egypt, you didn't know what was going on. Because the whole reason we was in Egypt is for a secret plan for right now, because we knew how bad this was going to get, and we had to keep it a secret from you because of the X and Y. And if you had ever, and if any of y'all had changed, and that's why they changed so many in the gender, because they were trying to get what we had planned. Not one man down here knew. And if you went man, you didn't know. Kuan Yin was a man. There's only one Buddha down here that stayed feminine, and y'all danced on her fucking head. And you made djinn babies out of her, and you laughed, and you did all your fucking magic. You did it to me. But now you're doing it to the entire world, and you built a fucking system on top of me, charged it with all the salt and the fucking energy of space, and then turned on, hooked me to a nuclear reactor. But I mean, they had done that a long time ago with Chernobyl. CERN was to put it, to do it again. But I was Elon's sister on a Babylon caught in an Alamo, because if you really are the Christ you can promise, there ain't nothing but fucking hell around you since the day you was born, because you're surrounded in antimatter.